Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Growing Women podcast. My name is Christina Singh, and I'm your host, and I am so thrilled to have you here with us again this week. For those of you listening, I just want to thank you so much for being here. The Growing Women podcast is all about sharing women's stories and the small ways that we've been successful in our lives and that we've grown, so other women know that it's okay to do the same, and it's okay to take those small steps. So I'm really thrilled to be sitting with another beautiful woman and sharing her story today. And for those of you following us on Soundcloud or YouTube or on Apple Podcasts, I really appreciate all your listens, all your support, your comments, your likes, everything. It really just means so much to me. So thank you so much for being here. Today, I am so thrilled to be sitting down with Nandar Matari, who is a meditation trainer. And Nandar was born and raised in Myanmar and Burma. And since 1993, she's been learning and practicing the precious ancient methods of mindfulness and meditations from many Buddhist monks and masters. She worked in many different careers as an English teacher in Myanmar, a financial consultant, and later a sales manager and recruiting specialist in Germany. In spite of her great professional success, she did not feel fulfilled, and she decided to follow her passion of teaching meditation since 2014. Through her daily convention of meditations and diverse experiences in the past 26 years, she's created different forms of guided meditation to transform people's lives with meditation for better health and personal transformation. Welcome, Nandar. I am so thrilled to have you here, and I'm so excited to talk to you about your journey into this world of meditation. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Christina, for having me today. I'm excited to share my experiences.
Yes. So you are a meditation teacher, and we actually spoke last week and you ran me through a meditation. So I can really attribute to Nandar's powerful skills as a meditation teacher and as a coach. And for those of you listening, we're going to end the show with a 5-minute meditation from Nandar. So keep listening, and I'm really excited for you to hear her in action. But before we do that, I want to learn more about you. I know that your bio says that you're from Myanmar and Burma. So what brought you to, I know you're in Switzerland right now because of the pandemic and you got a little bit displaced, and so you were working in Germany and you're in New York, so you definitely have a journey. But I would love to hear from you, what growing up in Burma was like and what your experiences were like that led you to where you are today. So where are you from, and how did you start teaching meditation?
Sure. So I wanted to keep my story a little bit shorter in that in the beginning. So I was born and raised in Myanmar. That is a Buddhist country. So my parents are just normal, normal employees. So they are government employees. My mother was a nurse and my father was a captain. So we also have to move from one place to another. And but when I was young, I lived with my parents, my mother's side. This my mother parents. So it's a 3-generation house, and we live with a lot of generosity. And it is in our culture. We helped and donate things to each other, but we do not have this habit of meditation back then. So because it was not popular, and we just pray or telling the beads, we say one mantra and counting the beads. That was very popular. But when I have a chance to come in contact with my grandmother from my father's side, she is more religious, and she also brought us to the monastery when I was like teens, 12 or 13 years old. She always brought me to that monastery, and I started seeing them. So she's meditating, we just have to sit down, and I was nodding and sleeping most of the time. So, and I also learned how to read the Saman of they are in Pali language. So I learned that from my father's side, my grandmother from my father's side. And at one point it was I heard about meditation from the physics teacher when I was in 9th grade. We have only 10th grade. So after 10th grade, our high school is finished, and we have to wait for our university. At that time, the ninth grade, my physics teacher told me that she was at a 7-day retreats, and and she learns meditation. And so this meditation really make her calm down, and it's also her face become very
Wow.
beautiful afterwards. And so I was like, very excited. And she also said that it was very painful, and she was also suffering at one point. And from that teen, so nobody really interested to go and meditate. But I was like, kind of like explosion and calling for me. And I told my mom I wanted to learn to meditate. And she told me that you are not yet finished with your high school, but after finishing your high school, you can do whatever you like. You can also go and meditate how long you like. Then I turned 16 after my high school exam. Then I went to that my grandmother from my father's side, and I told her that I would like to really meditate, because she always bring me to that monastery to meditate.
Yeah.
And I also want to become a nun. Then I was 16 years old, and I shaved my hair, and I stayed in the monastery for 27 days.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
At
like
16.
at 16, and my mother cried. At that time, I have like bob hair and a very thick hair. And my mother told me, "My God, you will get bald, and you have no hair, and everybody will tease you, whatever. But I would like to try." Then it was a very profound experience for me, because we have to wake up like 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was a long day. You have to meditate 24/7. You have to stay alone by yourself, right? You don't have. I don't have any a meal after 12 o'clock, so I have only breakfast and lunch. So in the evening, I can only drink water and just meditate. So cannot talk with anyone. Nobody can come in. My mother come and visit me like after 12 day or something. And she told me that I was very thin, and she cried. She said, "Oh my God,
Wow.
my poor daughter." And what's I "No, you don't crying. I'm doing my stuff, and you can come back anytime." So I do not want to, lose my promise. I kept my promise till to 27 day. It was so hard for me, but it was very good basic for me too. So during that past 27 years, I always repeated these retreats, meditation retreats, sometimes 7 days, sometimes 12 days, but I didn't repeat 27 days again because it
So
was
you
so
go
hard.
back to
I
that
go back
monastery. Wow.
to that monastery, or there are also many other different
Yeah.
monasteries, and where we can, meditate for free. Actually, when we meditate, we are like yogi. Yogi are someone who are practicing for our enlightenment. So a lot of people do not want to do it. It is also very difficult because the rules are very strict. You have to wake up 4 o'clock in the morning, and you have only few foods. Nobody will like it. You cannot listen to the music. You cannot read. You cannot write. And so it is like a prison too.
Yeah.
So a lot of people do not want to do. So the people who want to go there, they donate a lot of money and support them with food and all this stuff. So there are
Interesting.
many, free of charge meditation centers all over Myanmar, so till now.
So
So I
when
went
you
to the
were,
monastery.
yeah, so when you were 16 and you started to do this, were you afraid to go, or were you like ready and willing and able?
I was motivated, and I would like to know that how that is like. It was my calling. It like calling for me. I wanted to do it. And after I did this meditation, I have this feeling I will be teaching people to meditate. When
Hmm.
I get older and after I get retired, I have this very deepest desire to. I also have this feeling I have found and this techniques how to control my emotions and my thoughts, and I also gain a lot of confidence out of it. I come to
Yeah.
understand who I am. I'm more than my body. I'm more than my feelings and emotion. I understand, or keep in come in contact with my soul. It's bigger than myself. That other people say universe or God or whatever you name it. And so I knew it from the very beginning, and that I will be teaching the people to meditate, but I didn't expect that I will be started with 37. but
Yeah.
it is a good beginning. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that you had this breakthrough moment when you're in ninth grade and that you had somebody offer you this gift of showing you, oh my gosh, I did this. Because in the United States, I think it might be a little strange for a teacher to come in and say, I went to a meditation retreat. Like, I don't know if it was strange for your class to hear that, but I think in from my perspective, I was so disassociated with my teachers' personal lives. But
Yeah.
what a cool thing to learn. And I'm curious, you said you kept coming back to it. And I know you had another, series of careers that
Yeah.
happened. So when you were going through your journey, what led you to start your own meditation practice after, while you were going through all of these different jobs and moving around and things like that?
Sure. Um, from the very beginning, that meditation was very difficult for me, though I know that it is a right practice. So it held take me even till like 9 years to really understand and get into the deeper relaxation state of brainwave. So and so I at that time, because I also do not because after like 7 days retreat, so I came back and I do not meditate anymore at home, and I just stay the same. And maybe like 6 months later, okay, I need to meditate right now. I'm stressing out again. But every time I'm in meditation center, my nerves are coming down, and I feel really good. Then after that, like 9 years later, I come to understand that I have to incorporate this daily meditation into my life. Though they've been telling that for a long time. So I started meditating when I was 16. And then I like after 9 years later, like 25, I started, at 27, I started meditating daily.
I see. So
So
you were going to these retreats before then, but then
yeah,
you incorporated a daily practice into your
yeah.
life. Yeah.
Yeah, but I always maybe go to the retreat center one time in a year, so 7 days or 10 days,
Yeah.
or sometimes two times. But if I have like holidays, so I really take that times for that because it was very important for me. And then after that, I went to Germany. So I was an English teacher back in Myanmar.
Mm-hmm.
So it was also a very stressful job. So I have to wake up like 4 o'clock in the morning. I meditate. Then afterwards, I go for jogging, right? And then I came out of my country when I was 27 and 27. And at that time, I also keep, this is my daily routine. I always meditate like 10 to 15 minutes or sometimes half an hours. I
Mm.
always take that time for me. And when I comes to Germany in 2005, and I started also working as a financial consultant, so my always daily routine always started with meditation.
Yeah.
So it is part of my routines, and it also become my second nature, so to speak. Yeah.
So what happened? What started changing in your life when you started doing meditation every day versus going to a retreat, um, maybe once or twice a year? What started to change for you?
Yeah. That is a very good question because we learn the techniques in the retreat center, right? And know how to, practice and train our minds or control our brain or our thoughts. But I mean, when I was not meditating, like even 5 to 10 minutes, I cannot really control my emotions. I fall into the
Right.
sometimes aggressions, or sometimes it's very deep depression and so on. But when I was meditating that every day, even 5 minutes, so I comes into contact with my resentment or feeling sadness and so on, it goes away very quickly. So with that, I'm much more emotional intelligence, you
Yeah.
know. And also it's meditation is like clearing out our mind and also emotions regularly. It is like taking shower, right? We take shower for our body every day, but we do not know how to take shower for our mind. Meditation is like showering for our mind and
I
emotion.
love that.
Right. And so with that, I also, keep in touch with my intuition too. Sometimes when I, meditate, and so with this meditation moment, or it's 10 minutes or even 30 minutes. So then I take this moment with me throughout the day. I'm the morning person. That's why I always started meditating early in the morning. So throughout the day, and I just pick up. And so sometimes this emotion or intuition, what I should do or what I should not do. So I also make better decision out of it.
Mm.
So the first thing is taking shower, and the second thing is also having more control of my emotions, right? And also, listening to my intuition. The third, what I would like to say is that I also learn things very quickly. because my concentration is very good. It is also the concentration exercise. I have to concentrate on my breath or body or sensation. So with that, my emotions or the concentration power become heightened.
Yeah.
And so that I learn the new languages quickly, and also the new culture quicker, and I know how to adapt with things, easier for me.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing all that and really
Sure.
helpful information for our listeners. When did you decide to start teaching?
Okay.
How did that happen?
Sure. It is a very good question too. So I started this incorporating for some time, and when I become this financial consultant in Germany, I was also meditating and to reduce my stress and do my all goal setting every day. So when I become a team leader in 2009, then I also have a team, who appointed to me, who I have to coach them or help them to make their own sales. And that the people comes to me and they say that, oh, I need to make sales, and I do know what I want to learn from you, and how you learn things and so on. Then I saw that they cannot sleep at night, so they have this so how do you call it, the
Like
now
bags
I'm
under your eyes?
yeah, big eyes. No, because I'm coming up with the German word Augen, and I do not know how to say the word
For our
eyes.
German listeners.
German listener. And then I tell them no, and you have to take care of yourself first, right?
Yeah.
And then I teach them to start to meditate, because when you meditate, the people are also more in touch with their emotions, and they know what is good for them, and then they also started doing those things.
Mm,
Then with that, and they become calmer and more confident to themselves, and this confidence can also exude to their customers, exude to their teams and the people around them. So that's why if you would like to make success, so the success must come
right.
from within. So I teach them one-to-one, when I make them coaching or when I have the team meeting, I always started with meditation. So this is my first experience of teaching meditation in 2009 in my team. Later on, of course, I comes to understand that that is what I'm supposed to do, and in a bigger RAM, and I do that officially in 2014.
How did that feel to start teaching on your own? What did that look like? What were some of the first steps that you made?
Sure. Um, it is yeah, after, though I was teaching meditation since 2009, so it was like I didn't even think about it becoming a meditation teacher, because I was thinking about that when I was 16, but afterwards I was caught up with earning money, right? I mean, to make position, to also make holidays, all this stuff, and I also achieved a lot of goals one after another. But interesting is the shifts happen to me whenever I make a new sales and the higher jump of success. And I have to, in the sales company, you have to be in front of people, you have to preach how you
Right.
achieve that. But I feel awkward, and I feel like also something is missing in my heart. Then I also know that from the very beginning, it is not a company that I will be working for the rest of my life. But I do not know but that was my next step, right? And and with that, I make the long story short is that I feel always misplaced, though I was become more and more successful and making more sales. At one point, I comes to understand that I don't have to do that anymore. Though
Hmm.
I was so financially successful, or I do not have the $1 million in the bank account, I cannot do that anymore longer. So it was also a shift happened, through different meditations, seminars, and also energy work that I did. And with that, this energy huge shift made me see that I was living in that illusionary world. They are giving us incentive, right, to run, quicker than other people, to make more sales. And I was just exhausted, and I was not really taking care of myself. And also, I do not believe in that, projects anymore also, because of course the company also say this is the best, it is the best for them, not for the
Yeah.
employees, for the customers. And then, so make a long story short, I left the company, and I was, lost. I do not know what I have to do. And I also work in sales because I like, sales environment. I like talking with people, Then I went to the recruiting company, and I also made sales, and I also play like in this place also. And then at one point, I was ready, I say, dear God, tell me what I have to do.
Mm.
I'm very stubborn too, though I believe in God. I do not ask for the guidance, not always. And then I say, that was very clear to me after this recruiting company was also finished. Tell me what I have to do. And then he just very clear answer is teach people to meditate.
Right. I mean, you had the answer when you were 16 and
Yeah.
like you said, you had all of these steps along the way. And so what
Yeah.
happened when you got that message?
I got that message. It was very clear to me. Okay, I'll do that. It was on Tuesday, and I booked a room that I already know where I can do this meditation. And I booked that room on Sunday. Then I asked to all the people, I will take only €10, and then you can, everybody can come. And I have a lot of contacts on Facebook. And then all 5 people say they will come. And from there, 3 people are exactly there. And from the 3 people, after this 1.5 hour meditation, then 2 people say that I would like to have this coaching section from you, individuals, because I have the themes that I want to work with, and they feel the difference after that
Wow.
1.5 hours meditation. Then, that is
So,
the beginning of that
so
steps.
that's amazing. You had this clear message on a Tuesday. You booked
Yeah.
a room to coach people on a Sunday and you posted it on your LinkedIn. You had 5 people say they would come, 3 people showed up, and you got 2 clients after that, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah.
So from there, where did your business grow and how did you start to see your work transforming people's lives?
Yeah, so it is a very good question. It was in Frankfurt, back in Germany. So I live in Frankfurt since 2005. And then in 2014, March, I started teaching these group meditations. And of course, I do that group meditations every week, every Sunday. So with the €10, and that the group meditations are always getting growed, and not only that place, I also go to the other places too, and so on. It was like $10 or €10, and then sometime it's on the how do you call it, donation basic, and I was giving a lot of group meditations. Out of it, I also have one-to-one coachings, and I was very tired. After one time,
Yeah, it sounds tired.
I was like earning very little money, but then I come to understand that I have to do a little bit less in the group meditations and do more of the group meditation as a one-to-one. Then in 2014, so at the end of it, I started focusing on giving more one-to-one meditation. Then later on in 2015, I came to Switzerland too, and I coach just one person. And then later on, I also have more clients in Switzerland. So I was always working in Switzerland and Germany, so back and forwards, and I'm concentrating more on the individual clients.
Yeah.
So later on, then at the end of 2015, I come to visit in your city, because it was also my childhood dream. I wanted to visit and stay in your city.
I
Because,
get it. Yeah.
and then I was there, and I saw that, I asked people, is there any meditation classes in the company? And they say no, and they would be open for it. I think so, because they are also doing yoga classes there. And so, okay, this is being, and I will come to New York City and give this group meditations in the New York City. That was my, I saw the vision. And then also, and from the very beginning of 2014 that I started meditating to, I was always saying New York, New York, New York. I'm thinking, why New York, right? I mean, I'm okay here. But
Right.
after I came the first time to New York City, it was very clear I wanted to go there. And I came back in 2016, and I was like 8 weeks there. And then I met my lawyer, I met my sponsor, and also, I published my first book. I also wrote my first book. The book is called Following the Spark. And I wrote about how living authentically leads to finding destiny. So I wrote about my childhood, dreams and all these stuff, and how I've gone through. It was kind of like digesting for me, and it is also good for my visa. I know that.
Yeah.
I wrote that.
Yeah.
And
Double duty.
double duty, yeah. Then I published that online in 2016 too. Then I had my visa in 2017, and I came back. And at the end of November 2017, I come back to New York City.
Wow.
Yeah,
What a journey going back and forth to New York. But
yeah.
as a person who's always been very called to New York City, I completely understand. And it's something that when you want to move here, you'll do what you need to do to get here. And you are determined, especially if you have that calling. And I think that's with everything in life. Like when you have that calling, like you're saying, you booked that room and you just posted on LinkedIn and 3 people showed up and it went
Facebook,
from there.
yeah.
Um, can you walk us through, now that we know the foundations of your business and how you got to where you are, can you walk us through what meditation looks like with you and what comes out of that? I know we've talked about what comes out of it for some people, but what does a session usually look like with you?
Yeah. So meditation, there are also many different types of meditation. So
Yeah.
I do not want to get a lot into it, but I wanted to say that how my sessions look like is I teach them the guided meditation. So it's a combination of, there are 4 types of meditation. It's one type is the body meditation, yoga, qigong, tai chi. These are all yoga, so body meditation because they concentrate on body. So body scanning is also body meditation. So the second type is the mind meditation. They give you one mantra or the counting of breath. This is about concentration on the mind, or visualization is also mind meditation. So this is the second type. You know? The third is the emotional meditation. A lot of people do not even teach that because we are running away from our emotion rather than, how to deal with that. Nobody learned that. But most of this meditation that I learned from the Buddhist monk are this emotional meditation, actually.
Mm.
And the fourth type is a wisdom meditation, how to understand the wisdom of the universe, the wisdom of the God in ourselves. So that a lot of people do not even know that, And so a lot of people do the yoga, and also, transcendental meditation is also about, reciting one mantra all the time. It's only 2 are very present in most of the modern world. So what I teach is all about this combination of 4. I help them feel their feelings and emotion and their body too. So I combine all these techniques, and so that they have the maximum effect of, wisdom. They can build up their wisdom. They can release the emotion out of the system, and they can understand themselves and the world around them through that meditation. That is what I teach. So I, of course, in the past 6 years, I have learned or developed different types of meditations that the people can, learn from the very beginning. So, and when I started working with the people, I just asked them first, so what are their goals or what are the problems that they want to solve? That they started talking to me about their problems and what they want to solve. And I also asked them the questions. And most of the, coaches and trainer also come up with, you have to think this way or think that way, right? But as for me is I explain about their emotionals, where it come from and what could that be, They can say they can accept it or leave it, whatever that might be. It is just a discussion. It's about like healing or therapeutic too. That people really feel that because they can really tell what they're feeling right now, right? And I listen to them. Then after that sessions, so I also said that, I also explained to them what could that be and what kind of, optimal result that they want to have. Then I meditate with them. So incorporating all of the story that they've been talking about and all these new lessons or the new energy that they want to learn. And I incorporate that our conversation, and I make that one meditation for that 10 to 15 minutes. And I also record them in my phone. And afterward, they also receive that, meditation for themselves. So in that 1 hour sessions, sometimes I also meditate 2 times because a lot of people are emotional. They don't even know what they feel. Then I meditate with them first, like 10 minutes, and then we talk with each other, and we also meditate 10 minutes. In the first, most of the people walk with me like 3 months or 6 months, even 4 years right now, and the people are working, and then I always in the very beginning is I let them really feel the calmness and so on. Then after that kind of sessions, the people should meditate with this recording meditation every day.
I
They can
see.
do it early in the morning or in the evening. So as they are weak, but they should incorporate at least one time in their life. With that, they see the changes inside of themselves. Then their way of thinking to the world change. So with that, they also attract new people and circumstances into their life. They also receive the new inspiration or the new projects, what they can do, right? And they also have some financial gains also. For example, I have my first project with the Douglas element.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in 2nd January 2017, and the sales manager, she started working with me, with their teams, and the first time was 22 people. Then after that, it was 10 people altogether was included in our meditation. Then after that, we started meditating the first 12 weeks. We started the first 1 or 2 weeks later. She attracted a very big project that she's been wanting for many years,
Mm.
And it was like a coincidence for her and everything. A lot of people also make closing easier and so on. But it is a side effect of it, right? And because
Right.
our inner, we have a lot of thorns, let's say, or a lot of dirt inside of us, then we cannot really see what is really happening outside. So when we are clearing out the glasses, or shooping,
Showering.
shredding, shooping is
Yeah.
again shredding off a lot of dirt out of our mind and body, then we can see things more clearly,
Yeah.
and then the people can become also more productive.
Thank you for outlining that. When you're working with a client who has had deep emotional pain
Mm.
and who is working through that deep emotional pain, how do you work with them? And
Mhm.
and what do you start to see? Because I know that doesn't go away automatically, and it's a
Mhm.
process. How has meditation helped your clients who have experienced trauma or emotionally hurting? Can you speak more on that?
Yeah, of course, sure. That is a very good question. I want to give one very successful example of working with one suicide attempt young guy who I worked with back in 2017. I met with his mom in LA because my first project was in LA the whole November. I set up a new meditation center there in 2017. So I came to the US, and then I helped my mentor monk, and I met with his mom in 2017 November, and she told me that her son has a suicide attempt when he was 15 years old.
Oh, wow.
So he has a lot of self-image problem, right? He has a lot of deep depression. He said that his son is a piece of shit, right?
Mm.
And then also have many hurts that he has for himself and also for other people, right? Then I started meditating with him in December when I came back to New York. So we do that via Skype at that time. And I listened to his story. He has also a deep pain that he was in. And accept the story, what he is telling. Our mind is telling the story all the time. Then that's why we are listening to it, and we also keep on hurting our mind too. Then when he is trying to observing at one point, then it is our mind has or the soul or whatever it name it has a intelligence to auto-correct itself, auto-correct.
Mhm.
And so when he started listening and his own story of talking, and also through meditation, he started seeing that whatever he is talking him to himself is not true. He was in very deep pain. So, but after like 2 months, he came out of the room. Before that, he was also working with a lot of different therapists, but nobody was helping him, right? I also give him some observation exercises, how he should observe his dream, how he should observe his feelings, and so on during the week. Then I meditate with him once in a week. So this alone was really helping him, to really see this situation in different light.
Yeah.
because he's still in the pain, but at the same time, this pain's getting more and more eliminated and reduced. Like after 9 months, he become just normal, and he started, he after 3 months, he said that he wanted to become a pilot. Then I started, training him, and after 9 months, he was attending aviation university in Florida.
Wow.
Yeah. So it happened bit by bit through that meditation. So that right now his parents so tell that he is not very aggressive. He does not have a lot of aggression anymore, right? He was also helping his parents. It was not the case before, right? He was also become right now more soft spoken, because he also see his pains and he also see his thoughts. He understand that this pains happen because of that thoughts he have.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And this meditation really changed the way he thinks. And with that, this deep thought, deep feeling also eliminated. He does not, keep on repeating the thoughts pattern, which how do you call it, make him painful. So with
Right.
that, his pains are also gone
Right.
because his thoughts pattern changed.
That's such a beautiful story. And I think it really speaks to the fact that not many people, um, I think meditation has become more popular and mindfulness has become more popular in the United States right now, and across the world. But it's still not something that is at the core, like really sitting with ourselves and
Yeah.
being mindful.
Mm-hmm.
How can people start to meditate if they're listening to this and they're just interested in, or maybe they're fearful and they're not sure how to sit with their thoughts? How can people start?
Yeah. So any kind of things is, of course, you can also start yourself, and it is much easier if you have a teacher and
Yeah.
also even the guidance. So there are also many different apps. So I do not want to go detail into it, but any guided meditation is good for them. It can also be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 15 minutes, as long as they, I mean, how much they can endure in the beginning. So you can even start it with 5 minutes. So with that, you will be getting into the habit of, somebody guiding you to guide yourself, right? Meditation is about finding the teacher inside of you, right? We are the teacher and student at the same time. But before our teacher inside of us is not strong enough, so it took me 9 years to really build myself up. But I mean, right now my students are not that long, so it will take them like 3 months or 6 months later, they can meditate by themselves without my guidance. But they also like my guidance because it is easier for them to find this inner teacher. So you have to, the people should start with a guided meditation, or they can go to, retreats if they have time. So there are like weekend retreats, 3 days. Some people do that, or there are also 7 days or 9 day retreats. They can, of course, go to Myanmar, and there are many free of charge meditation centers there. So that will be a good start for them. But if they say that, okay, I do not have that kind of and stuff, but I want to try it my own, then I would say them to just sit down. They can also, opening any kind of the soft music if they feel like more soothing. But I mean, without is much better for me. And you can start counting 1 to 6. When you breathe in, count 1, and breathe out, count 2. But do not control the flow of them, counting 2. A lot of people say that 1, 2, 3, count and hold, and 1, 2, 3 out, and then you don't really know what your body is also telling you. In another example of meditation is, meditation is about listening your own nature, how your body wants you to tell, how your mind wants you to tell. Meditation is actually observation exercise. So
Yeah.
by counting 1 to 6 and also, feeling it, 5 minutes, it will also help you to increase your concentration power. And it is a very good start of meditation.
Thank you so much for outlining all of that. Um, when when people are listening to this and they're thinking, "Oh, I really want to start and I want to do this," where can they do this in their homes? Like, do you recommend a quiet space? Do you recommend a little nook? Like, where can people go in their homes?
So, yeah, of course. There's also the place is also very important. I also say that to them because we are associated feelings and emotion with different places that we sit to. So you should, in every home there is a spot that we feel most comfortable, right? And so you should use that spot, your favorite spot, and try that spot or the place to meditate to. And of course, it is the best when you do not have the children running around you, that you're alone by yourself, right? And at the same time, I do not recommend to lay down in the first because you will fall asleep right away. Though the shavasana or after the yoga is good, but just sit down in the with the you can sit down on normal chair. You don't have to do the cross leg. Meditation is not about the position either. So you can sit in the any comfortable position that you feel good for you. Then just open your heart. You can even stretch it up and then pull up your chin a little bit, and your chest is open, and put the upward position and just meditate or count 1 to 6 for 5 minutes. So so that with that you have this energy also saved up in that space too. Whenever you see that, you also have correlation of I want to meditate now again, and whenever you are left off, and your brain will pick up again from this space.
Yeah. You, throughout this interview, you've been talking about energy and shifting that energy, and connecting with people's energy. And I know you and I have also talked about, opening your third eye and having that energy be out into the world, and that white light be out into the world.
Yeah.
Can you speak more to your energy work and the work that you've done to be more mindful with your energy?
Sure. Everything is energy, right? We are communicating with each other energy through words, right? We don't both speak English, and so that we don't have to really interpret each other. But when somebody is coming into the room, we have some other perceived, the thoughts about him or her, right? Because of his or her energy too. So when I work with the people, it's also the thoughts are the form of energy, and also the emotions are the form of energy too. And our fears are also energy, and our longings are also energy. So I talk with them, I discuss with them about all of those. And with that, they can really release and free flow of, I have a total acceptance for them, and they have a free flow of energy. With that, I do not have any judgment for anyone, because everyone is a pure soul. I believe and see that in that way. So with that, when I am meditating with them, actually I am copying the energy of peace and love and the higher frequency that I have been accumulating for many years, and I lit their light up. And so in other words, a lot of people think that meditation is about learning the techniques. It is not that. Meditation is about copying the energy. So you must find a source of light to just lit up quicker. That is why the people who are working with me can get into the peace and love in a shorter moment of time, because I have that bonfire. Because I have that, built that my fire up every day with my inner work, and also with I have a connection with my monks and nuns and all these retreats every year. It made me, maintained my inner fire, or the pure energy that I impart them through meditation. With that, they can also build up their fire step by step every day. It makes them inward, their feelings change, their thoughts change, and also how they interact with other people change.
Yeah. Thank you for that. I love the metaphor you just gave, that I'm a bonfire.
Yeah.
I come and you can't get away from that light, because I'm gonna be that spark.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we can transition into having you guide us through a meditation.
Sure.
Is there anything, before we do that, is there anything else you would want to add before we do this?
I'm good.
Great. Perfect. Well, I guess we can just start. So if
Yeah,
you're
I can
listening,
impart some fire into some people who are listening,
yes,
right?
join the
And so that they
bonfire.
feel that all the fires. So I
Yeah.
just want you to just open your heart. It means that you can stretch it out, your arms in upward position, left and right, so that you might be sitting down for a long time and you just get roll your shoulder at the back, and also, crack your neck a little bit. And then I want you to just feel your feet on the ground. That is important. And then also your palm, I wish you want to have an upward position. You can also put that on the tables if you're listening, or put it on the lap, wherever you feel it, and pull your chin a little bit parallel to the ground so that your chest is open, your backbones, the spinal cord is straight. And then close your eyes gently. Feel your left foot on the ground and feel your right foot on the ground. You don't have to stop thinking. Meditation is not about stop thinking and your thoughts were running, but you just sense your sensation on the left foot now. Relax your left ankle, left calf, left knee, and left shin. Great. Now feel your left thigh and back of the thigh. Relax your left buttock and relax your left whole leg. Feel that all the tension that you've been carrying are pouring down on the ground like water. Great job. Now feel your right foot on the ground. Relax your right foot and right ankle, right calf, right knee, and right shin. Now relax your right thigh and back of the thigh. Relax your right buttock and relax your right whole leg. Let go of all the tensions, pour down on the ground through your right foot. Great job. Now feel your pelvis and your glutes. And relax your anus, your muscles from your belly. Release everything on the chair that you're sitting. You don't have to pull anything up. And relax your stomach and your chest. And relax your collarbone and your throat. And relax your whole front and let go of everything down in the ground from your front. Great job. And relax your throat, your face muscle, your jaws. Open up your teeth a bit if you're biting each other. Relax each and every face of your muscle, your ears, your eyes, your cheeks, your nose, your forehead. And now relax your head and back of the head. And relax your whole head and your neck now. Now relax your whole back, starting from your upper back, middle back, and lower back. Let everything fall down in the ground from your back. Great job. Now relax your left shoulder blade, left whole arm, till to your fingertips. Great job. Pouring down anything on the ground, and relax your right shoulder blade, right upper arm, right lower arm, Tilt to your fingertips and relax your whole right arm. Let everything falls down in the ground from your right. Great job. Now bring your attention slowly and steadily to your breath. How you breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in 1, breathe out 2. You'll be counting the breath. Breathe in 3, breathe out 4. Breathe in 5, breathe out 6. Feel your breath and count your breath 1 to 6. Feel your breath 1 to 6. Great job. Count 1 to 6 last time. Feel your breath. Count your breath. Breathe in 1, breathe out 2, breathe in 3, breathe out 4, breathe in 5, breathe out 6. Great job. Now letting go of the count and slowly and steadily feel your body again and feel your feet on the ground and wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers and then rub it off left and right hand. Make fire in your palm and then press this on top of your chest one another and give it to yourself love and attention. Say to yourself inwardly, thank you, thank you, thank you, and love you, love you, love you. From the middle of the chest, you spread out the light throughout your body like a sun. Spread it to the whole room, and then to the whole wall, to the universe and endless universe, with the intention, may all being in all universe be happy. I share my light and good deeds with all of you unconditionally. And slowly and steadily come back your attention to here and now. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Thank you so much for that, Nandar.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Where can people find you if they want to work with you?
Sure. I have my website that is Matari, my last name, Matari, and meditation with S and .com. So that is my website, and they can find my email there, and also they can send email from me there. They can also have some downloads. I have my YouTube channel, and they can also see that everything from the website.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
We'll link everything in our episode so people can find you right away. And you can find the Growing Women podcast on Apple Podcasts, on Soundcloud, and on YouTube. And I just want to thank you so much for being here today, Nandar. I know that I got so much out of this conversation, and I hope our listeners did too. So thank you so much for being here today.
You're most welcome. Thank you for having me today. It was a pleasure.
And thank you for listening and joining us. Remember, your voice matters, your story matters, you matter. Thank you so much for everything you are putting out into the world. And we will see you next time on our next episode of the Growing Women podcast. Thank you, everyone.